Japan, land of bullet trains, anime and game consoles, today stands as a symbol of innovation and tradition, a place where the ultra-modern meets the deeply ancient. But this story began long ago with legends, emperors and rice, the very foundation of Japanese civilization. A string of islands, isolated yet vibrant, Japan charted its own path for centuries, shaped by the sea and its unique geography. The story starts with the sun goddess Amaterasu and her grandson Jimmu, the legendary first emperor, whose mythic origins gave Japan a sense of divine purpose. Whether true or not, this myth set up the world's oldest imperial line, a tradition that continues to this day. Early Japan borrowed heavily from China, adopting writing, Buddhism and new ideas about government, art and philosophy. The Heian period saw elegant court life, refined rituals, and the world's first novel, The Tale of Genji, written by a woman, Murasaki Shikibu. But while nobles wrote poetry and enjoyed the arts, local landowners faced real threats and needed protection from bandits and rival clans. Enter the samurai, skilled warriors hired by landowners living by a strict code of honor and loyalty, ready to defend their masters at all costs. As the emperor's power faded, samurai clans grew stronger, fighting for land, influence, and the right to rule. The emperor remained a figurehead, but real power shifted to those with swords and the will to use them. This marked the rise of a new social order, with samurai at the top and a strict hierarchy below. The age of courtly nobles faded, and the era of warriors began, changing the face of Japanese society. It was a slow, messy transition, filled with conflict and uncertainty, but it changed Japan forever. The stage was set for centuries of samurai rule, with castles rising and armies marching. The curtain was closing on one act and rising on another, as Japan entered a new era. Japan's story was about to get even more dramatic, with battles, intrigue, and shifting alliances. From poetry to power struggles, the country was transforming before the world's eyes, and the samurai were just getting started, ready to shape the destiny of Japan for generations to come. The samurai took charge, and the shogun became Japan's real ruler. The shogunate system put military clans in control, with the emperor as a symbolic leader. Samurai lived by bushido, honor, loyalty, and mastery of the sword. Their katana was their soul, and dishonor was the worst fate. Japan faced Mongol invasions, but typhoons, kamikaze or divine wind, saved the country. This reinforced the belief in Japan's special destiny. Afterward, civil war erupted, the Sengoku period, with warlords, daimyo, and ninja battling for power. Alliances shifted constantly, chaos reigned. Legendary figures and epic castles emerged. The country needed unity, someone to end the fighting. The stage was set for unification. In a time of chaos and endless war, three remarkable leaders rose to unify Japan: Oda Nobunaga, Toyotomi Hideyoshi, and Tokugawa Ieyasu. Their ambition and vision would forever change the nation's destiny. Nobunaga revolutionized warfare by introducing firearms and using ruthless tactics, conquering much of Japan with unmatched determination before betrayal ended his life in dramatic fashion. Hideyoshi, his brilliant and resourceful general, finished the job. He built magnificent castles, reformed society, and brought stability to a land long torn by conflict. After Hideyoshi's death, Tokugawa Ieyasu seized power at the decisive Battle of Sekigahara, defeating his rivals and uniting the country under his rule. Ieyasu became shogun, founding the Tokugawa shogunate and ushering in over 250 years of peace, order, and prosperity for Japan. The capital moved to Edo, now Tokyo, and powerful daimyo lords were kept in check by being required to live in Edo part-time, ensuring their loyalty. To maintain control, Japan closed itself off from the world, a policy called sakoku, fostering a unique culture with art forms like kabuki theater and ukiyo-e woodblock prints flourishing in isolation. This isolation brought not only stability but also sparked creativity and innovation in daily life, crafts, and traditions. For over 2 centuries, Japan thrived in its own carefully maintained bubble, developing a rich and distinctive society. But as the world changed, the outside world was about to knock on Japan's door, bringing new challenges and opportunities. Japan's isolation ended abruptly in 1853 when Commodore Perry's American warships arrived. The shogunate, powerless against modern technology, agreed to open ports. Other Western nations soon followed, forcing unequal treaties. The shock split Japan resist or modernize? Discontent grew, and young samurai rallied around Emperor Meiji. In 1868, the Meiji Restoration overthrew the shogunate, restoring imperial rule. This wasn't just a political shift, it was a revolution. Japan raced to modernize, determined not to be colonized. The country transformed at breakneck speed. Feudalism ended, a new era began. The world's eyes were now on Japan. The race to catch up had started. Japan was ready to reinvent itself. The Meiji era was a whirlwind of change. Japan modernized everything: government, industry, military, and education. In just a few decades, the country transformed from a feudal society into a modern nation, eager to catch up with the West and determined to shape its own destiny. The samurai class was abolished, ending centuries of tradition. A new constitution and parliament were created, laying the foundation for a modern state. Factories, railways, and a modern army appeared almost overnight. Japan's cities buzzed with new energy, and the nation's ambitions soared. Victories over China and Russia shocked the world. Japan was now a major power, respected and feared on the global stage. But newfound strength led to imperial ambitions. Korea was annexed, and expansion into China began, setting the stage for future conflict. The military gained control, steering Japan toward a path of aggression and ultimately into World War II. Early victories gave way to devastating defeat. The cost of war became unbearable and hope faded. Cities were destroyed and atomic bombs ended the war in 1945. The devastation was unlike anything Japan had ever known. The empire collapsed. Japan lay in ruins, its people facing hunger, loss, and uncertainty. But the story wasn't over. Even in the darkest times, hope flickered among the ruins. From devastation, Japan would rise again. The people rebuilt their cities, their lives, and their dreams. The next chapter would be one of resilience and reinvention, as Japan embraced innovation and looked to the future. The world would soon see a new Japan, dynamic, creative, and determined to thrive. The country's greatest transformation was yet to come, as it prepared to lead in technology and culture. The future was wide open, and Japan was ready to embrace it. Post-war Japan rebuilt from ashes, adopting democracy and renouncing war. The focus shifted to economic recovery, ushering in the Japanese economic miracle. Companies like Sony, Toyota, and Honda became global icons. The bullet train symbolized Japan's technological leap. Japanese culture, anime, manga, video games, sushi captivated the world. Soft power replaced military might. Japan became a leader in creativity and innovation. From ancient legends to futuristic tech, Japan's journey is one of constant reinvention. The story continues, full of resilience and imagination. What's your favorite part? Samurai honor, Meiji genius, or pop culture? Japan's history is packed with amazing moments, and there's always more to discover. The adventure isn't over yet. If you enjoyed this journey through Japan's history, don't forget to like and subscribe for more epic stories.